Wonderful good day, ladies and gentlemen, out of our studios today here in Munich, Commodity TV, and it's time for oil and gas now, ladies and gentlemen. And with me here is Mark Frascogna. He is the Vice President of Commercial Affairs of Avanti Energy. Mark, thank you very much for taking the time to be here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Avanti Energy, give us a short overview. What is the company about?
Well, Avanti is a startup E&P company with focus on development of existing oil and gas fields, mature fields, primarily located in Colombia and Brazil, with perhaps a bit larger Latin American focus. Currently, the company has established production in mature fields in Louisiana.
You have already production, so that means you have cash flow.
Yes.
Oh,
and so the idea is to take that skill set and to apply it into bigger opportunities in Latin America.
Okay, so just to make it easily understandable for our viewers then, you want to buy into established production, that's one thing, or you want, and you want to buy into oil fields which have to be maybe a little bit developed, but they are very fast in production.
Well, the idea is to focus, unlike an exploration company, the idea is to focus on assets that are oil focused and typically mature, meaning they've been on production for a number of years. And these are assets that probably need investment and engineering attention in order to reach their full potential. So in a place like Colombia or Brazil, maybe you've had one operator, maybe two operators, versus where in the United States you've had, over the history of a field, 5 operators.
Okay.
So we still know how to make money after 5 operators in the United States. We feel like after 1 operator or 2 operators in Latin America, we can certainly enhance the field and increase the productivity of the field.
Fantastic. From where do you get the technical expertise? Do you have it all in your company, or do you have it outsourced?
Well, as you know, a lot of the members of our team come from Forest Oil. Forest is one of the oldest independent E&P companies in the United States, and our team is probably concentrated in engineering, geology, geophysics. We have a great skill set within our existing management team, but we've also teamed up with a large engineering provider in the United States called Sierra Hamilton, and Sierra Hamilton will be assisting us in larger acquisitions where the evaluation of the fields may involve not just 5 or 6 or 10 wells, but maybe hundreds of wells. Wow. So we plan to use Sierra Hamilton for larger projects as our technology partner.
Of course. Can I ask you how many projects you have under review by now? Because I think you're doing this now for 18 months or something.
We've evaluated a number of projects. Because we're not focused on exploration, we're focused on producing assets. The universe of those opportunities is a bit smaller than it would be for exploration, but we're very selective in that we're looking for development projects that fit our criteria. And so currently we have about 6 projects that are under review, and in some cases we've made proposals. In some cases we're gearing up to make proposals, but it's our objective to reach a successful acquisition in the next 4 to 5 months.
Great. So what you have to explain me now is really, because your market cap is $20 million roughly, yeah?
Yes.
You have roughly, I think, 48 million shares out altogether, and we talk about, oil field deals. So I can imagine this is something maybe north 10, 50, $100 million easily. How do you structure and how do you finance then those acquisitions?
Well, we have two approaches to financing a large acquisition. One is through working with private equity firms in the United States. These are typically large private equity firms that are focused in the energy sector, maybe in particular the oil and gas sector. And so we would finance a large acquisition through working with a number of large private equity providers that would finance
with deep pockets.
Deep pockets that would finance 75 to 80% of the acquisition.
Okay, I see.
Typically, the operator, the company that's generating the opportunity, participates in the upside to 15 to 20% of that investment. And we would also be an equity partner ourselves in putting in 20-25% of the equity. And for that, we would raise capital through our public vehicle, Avanti.
Okay. And smaller projects like? I think you can maybe draw on, if
Under-
they're in production, you can get a
under-
bank facility, right?
You can get a bank facility
Yeah.
or projects under 50 million, which may not suit private equity, would be financed through debt and be financed through public equity.
Okay. What be your next steps until Christmas? As you said, you are in negotiations, so maybe we can expect a first acquisition
Well,
closing until Christmas?
we're working very diligently
Yeah.
on that, and we have a number of opportunities that we're closing in on. I can't say exactly. I
No,
can't
of
give
course
you an
not, of course
exact
not.
date, but our
Yeah.
objective is to achieve a large transaction before the end of the year. In the meantime, we're building a small but meaningful production base in Louisiana, and we'll be participating in additional re-entries and reworks of existing wells in Louisiana to build our cash flow and our production base in Louisiana.
Great. What have you established in Louisiana so far? How many barrels per day?
In Louisiana, we established production just in the past 4 or 5 months in the order of 50 barrels a day, which is not a large amount, but it's significant in that it represents more or less our burn rate, and therefore we're covering our overhead.
Is there a possibility that you can go from the 50 barrels to 100, 150, 200?
Oh, absolutely, and that's a goal that we have in Louisiana, is to grow that incrementally over the next 12, 18 months, and so absolutely we'd like to grow that as much as we can.
Yeah.
It's somewhat a function of the pipeline of opportunities are there. It's somewhat a function of how much capital we want to apply to that area of the world, and how many wells we want to participate in.
Okay, great, fantastic. Super. So I think for the first shot here, that's perfect. And I know you cannot say any more because you're under restrictions, of course. So I think we leave it like this and look forward really to report soon about you, that you hopefully have closed the first
Great,
acquisition.
thank you. We're working hard toward it.
Great, Mark, thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Avanti Energy, Mark Frascogna. You heard it. They are in the process of the first acquisitions. Hopefully by Christmas that will be done. But also in Louisiana, they produce now with 50 barrels a day, and they want to raise this also next year, hopefully to 100 or even more. But the important thing is with 50 barrels a day, the G&A is covered, so the company does not need any additional money for that. And I think this is very important for a small company, that they are in a good shape here. And for the large acquisitions, they have private equity partners. Private equity is there, and also bank partners are there. So we look forward on the first deal they may do then very soon, and then we see how it works. Thanks, and bye-bye from Munich.